Service. Need tires right now? Drive through the new speed lane at Flynn's Tire in Hermitage to get your new tires installed fast. Just drive in and we'll get you in at Flynn's and tell them Flinny sent you. The number to call is 724-981-7900. That's 724-981-7900. It's the Pick Sports Line live on News Talk 790 WPIC and Sports Radio 96.7.
Hi, I'm Jillian.
Hi, I'm David.
And now it's time to start the show.
Here are the hosts,
You Winger and our daddy, Bob Greenberg.
We are back. Yes, we are. The Pick Sports Line presented by Flynn's Tire and Auto Service, flynnstire.com. And we are broadcasting live tonight till 7 o'clock on 790 WPIC, Sports Radio 96.7, the iHeart app, Sports Radio 96.7 Facebook. You can post a comment or a question there, also with live video. And, of course, at X, at Ringer Hugh, at Bob Greenberg. We have lots to talk about here tonight. And we also have some awards to present. It is the first Monday of the month. After Steeler Talk in hour number 1, we have the Vase Pub and Grill Mercer County Team of the Month, followed by the Mailer Insurance Mercer County Athletes of the Month. We have Jerry DePaula joining us. What a time it's been for the Pitt basketball team. Incredible win over the weekend, and they are getting the rewards of their big wins early in the season with the national rankings. We have Jerry DePaula to talk all about that. 6:30, Tom Reisenweber, This Week in District 10. And the Sippy Rock University Rocket football team is getting ready for a big showdown on Saturday in the NCAA Division II quarterfinals. Their head coach, Sean Lutz, will join me as I chatted with Sean earlier today about his incredible win over the weekend, a game-winning play in overtime that made it as the top 4 play of the week on ESPN, and local connections as well in their big game on Saturday. So we'll talk to Sean Lutz as well. Hugh, talking about good times, it is a very good time in Steeler Nation after they rebound from their lowest point of the year, a loss to the Browns. They win a scintillating, nail-biting game against the Bengals on Sunday.
Yeah, there was a lot of, I don't want to say negativity, but anxiety going into that Steeler game in the Rhineland against the Bengals yesterday. You know, the Steelers have had many opportunities to beat the Bengals. They've beaten them at times, but then they've lost to them when they shouldn't have lost. And, you know, it's getting down to the rug-cutting time in the NFL. And, boy, I'll tell you, that was a really interesting game. The Steelers hung in there, get the 44-38 win. You imagine scoring 44 points in an NFL game against a team that has quality on offense, but not nearly enough on defense, and that's the thing that did them in. And I'll tell you, Bob, heading into the final 4 weeks or so, 5 weeks of the regular season, the Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting much better than I think a lot of their faithful thought they would be.
The 44 points, the most the team has scored in a game since November of 2018. So it's been 6 years, Hugh, since the team scored more than 44 points, 52 in that game in 18. But there's no question, the headline and the start of this program will discuss what could be one of the best pickups in the history of this team, Russell Wilson.
Oh, I'll tell you, today that's all we're hearing, and deservedly so. Russ Wilson comes in and plays, I hate to say a game for the ages, but definitely a game that we have not seen anything close to resembling excellence, except going back to the days occasionally with Ben Roethlisberger running the controls. When you figure he was 28 out of 38 passing, 414 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, just absolutely unbelievable. A quarterback rating of 126.4. He is really showing that the Pittsburgh Steelers knew what they were doing when they went after him and signed him, much to the surprise of many. as well as Justin Fields. And it's absolutely amazing to see what Russell Wilson did. In fact, if you look at the stars of this team, Bob, the stars all came out yesterday in that huge win. Some of them tainted their images a little bit, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that. But the guys that you need to have stand out for you definitely did yesterday on both sides of the football.
Yeah, no question about that. And Russell Wilson came in. There was some uncertainty because of the way he left in Denver, and people speculated, was this just the end of his career? And then he got hurt, didn't play the first 4 or 5 weeks. Justin Fields played pretty well. Steelers were winning. Then debating should they even bench Justin Fields. We talked about that. And now Russell Wilson has undeniably taken over this position as QB1, and there's no debate.
That's absolutely right, Bob. And the way that he is running that offensive football team is absolutely amazing. It was so interesting for us to be able to sit there and on the national telecast clearly hear the cadence change that Russell Wilson was running. He was changing plays at the line of scrimmage and was fully aware of the shot clock or the time, the play clock. I'm not
shot clock is basketball.
I'm not in basketball right now. We'll get to that. But anyway, Russell just had complete control of his football team, and without question, complete confidence was the end result. They said, Russ, you make the calls, we'll follow. And boy, did they follow yesterday.
No question about it. And the thing that stands out right now about Russell Wilson is he is getting the ball to pretty much everybody on the field. Yes, George Pickens is the kind of the leader of that offensive receiving core, but he is getting targets and passes to a lot of different players, including his running backs, who 3 of them had a big day yesterday. I think if you combine the numbers between Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren, and Cordero Patterson, I think they had 13 catches yesterday, Hugh.
Yeah, they were very, very active, and I was glad to see Patterson having a pretty good day. And of course, Jaylen Warren is a quality guy coming in behind Najee. And Najee had a 10-yard touchdown run, 129 yards from scrimmage, and that was awfully impressive. And, of course, George Pickens flashed his inimitable style with a couple amazing catches, and then some things that I think brought out the ire of a lot of Pittsburgh fans. Finally got the ball to Muth in the second half, and Freiermuth's 25-yard touchdown was definitely a big play in the football game. Calvin Austin III left, of course, with a head injury. We don't know how serious that is. He may well miss a game or two, but he had a 23-yard touchdown. And Bob, who would have ever thought that you and I might be sitting here today saying that Calvin Austin has proved to be a pretty solid number 2 receiver in the Pittsburgh Steelers arsenal?
There's no question. And if he's injured, that's bad news. But there's no question he has stepped up this year. 22 catches, 383 yards, 4 touchdowns. So he's averaging, just under 19 yards a catch. Those are big-time stats. He's not the guy getting 8 or 9 targets a game, but he is a game breaker, and that's, I think, the role they look to get him into.
He can take the top off the coverage, no doubt about it. And the classic example was that pass right down the center of the field. He got a couple steps on the corner from Cincinnati, and he didn't know what hit him. He knew he was beaten at that point. And I'm really impressed with the way the guy eschews criticism about his lack of size. But he said, I may not have a lot of size, but I have a heck of a lot of speed, and I think I know what I'm doing when I'm out in the open field, and he certainly does.
Let's talk about George Pickens, Hugh. if the Steelers would have lost this game yesterday, there is a good chance we would have opened up this program pointing a big finger.
Yeah.
Could be and you choose the finger we point at him. It could be maybe the middle one. I don't know what to make of him. He is getting criticized heavily. He is, and I posted. He at times acts like a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And I think it's a point now, Hugh. And I don't know about you, but I'm to the point now where literally every time he makes a catch, I'm expecting a flag on him.
Yeah, I know, and it's starting to get very, very bothersome. And Mike Tomlin is trying to handle it in his own way. But I don't know whether the fans happen to see this. This really got my attention. And when you talk about the criticism that is being directed at Pickens, I thought it was very eloquently stated by the Post-Gazette's Ray Fittipaldo in his column where he did the Steelers report card yesterday. He said George Pickens is one of the most polarizing players the Steelers have had in years, going back to Antonio Brown. He has unworldly talent, but his bonehead mistakes are selfish. He picked up a taunting call early in the game when he laid the ball on top of a Bengal player. Later, called for unsportsmanlike conduct for pretending to shoot a gun with his hand. And it says, Pickens might never accept responsibility for his behavior, but the Steelers put up with his antics because he produces. And that pretty much is how they're trying to handle George Pickens.
Well, there's no question they're putting up for him. And I think that has been the MO for Mike Tomlin. I think he will put up with a lot of stuff for their star players. If you're not a star player, then there's a good chance you're out the door if you're making too many mistakes like this. But Pickens is a talent, but at this point, they won the game yesterday, so his actions kind of get swept under the rug a little bit. Mm-hmm. But there may be a game in the near future where he gets a costly penalty like yesterday that took him out of momentum and potentially a touchdown and cost him a game, maybe a playoff game, and the anger is going to be at a different level.
No question. No question.
Ryan Scarpizio, who used to work for the Steelers, tweeted, "I try to be as objective as possible, but I cannot look past Pickens' behavior, antics, and lack of accountability. I don't root against him, but also don't care for him. I do hope he can learn to control the things he can control because he could be very good at this level."
Oh, he's tremendous. Tremendous. But I think he feeds off his own foolishness is what it comes down to. But you notice he has somebody in his ear, and it might just be somebody that you wouldn't think would do this, but he's known him for a number of years because he played with him at Georgia, and that is Broderick Jones. Not Broderick Jones, I'm sorry. Yeah, Broderick Jones.
Broderick Jones, yes.
Yeah, he talked. Did you see him talking to him several times yesterday? He really had his ear. He was giving him a mouthful of how you can't be doing this, George. I think he hears him, but I don't know that he's listening.
Mike Tomlin, after the game yesterday, said about Pickens, he's just got to grow up, man. This emotional game, these divisional games are big. He got a target on his back because he's George. He understands that, but Tomlin said he's got to grow up. He's got to grow up in a hurry.
Well,
what do you make of that?
Tomlin's going to have to be part of it. That's all there is to it. Of course, Mike was criticized years ago when he put up with the antics of who, Antonio Brown. He allowed him to stay off campus. The only player that's ever been allowed to room off campus that I know of
Actually, he probably did the team a favor.
Well,
in
he
hindsight.
probably did. He got Brown out of their way.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably true. And he may have to do that with Pickens, but I don't know. It's really a conundrum. And
what do you say, Hugh, for the fans out there that feel like Mike Tomlin needs to send a message to him? I don't know what the message can be. Obviously, you don't want to hurt the team, but it could be simply as maybe he doesn't start a game, but he plays? I mean, what do you think?
I think he sent a message with his statement that you read a few minutes ago, Bob. And I don't know whether it'll ever register with Pickens or not. The Steelers know they have an immense talent on their hands. I mean, this guy's a Pro Bowl receiver. I just wonder if he'll ever be voted into the Pro Bowl because a lot of opposing players probably can't stand the guy.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, it's hard to say how they feel about a guy like that.
But you know, yesterday, Hugh, and I thought it was going to happen, but the NFL, in their absolutely insane way, in their rules, they have a rule: if you get too unsportsmanlike, you're kicked out of the game.
Yeah.
So the second flag on Pickens, my reaction was he's going to be kicked out. I mean, think about that.
But you could tell the officials were doing their darndest to not do that.
Well, they explained after the rule, because his second unsportsmanlike wasn't towards another player, he was not ejected. But it's only a matter of time he's going to be ejected.
You know, he's a lot like Antonio Brown in many ways. And the one thing I'll say about both of them is in their, I don't know, for lack of a better word, their inimitable way. They're both very smart guys, and they're smart enough to know what they can get away with.
I would say this, Joe. I would say this, and I don't know if anybody agrees or disagrees with me. I think the comparison to Antonio Brown, I don't think is fair, and I'll tell you why. I think Antonio Brown, when he got onto the football field, was a all-time professional.
Yeah.
His actions mostly were off the field. Videoing Mike Tomlin in the locker room, or getting in trouble speeding on McKnight Road, and some of those things he did crazily in Pittsburgh. But there wasn't many times, at least that I remember, that he was at this level of George Pickens on the field.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. I think Brown on the field was an all-time great. Pickens right now on the field is an all-time fool.
Yeah. I would agree.
724-981-7900. We're talking Steelers. We're talking the huge win yesterday. The Steelers right now have put themselves in position to win the AFC North. They have a 2-game lead over the Ravens in the loss column with 5 games to go.
Yep, that's right. And, of course, they have the Browns coming up next Sunday in Pittsburgh. A game the Steelers should win, but you never know.
What do you mean you never know?
Well, it's the NFL, Bob.
I mean, I would imagine that if there is ever a time for this team to show up and prove themselves and not needing one word of inspiration from Mike Tomlin, it would be this game against the Browns after last week. The Browns embarrassed them on national television.
Yeah, that's true. But how about the last 3 games on their schedule? If ever this team is going to be focused for 60 minutes, I don't know how they could not be focused when they're playing Philadelphia. They're playing, again, the Ravens. And, of course, they are playing the 2-time Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are in trouble now.
Well, they're not in trouble, but
when
are they in trouble? What are you talking about? They just keep winning,
I know, but they have a few chinks in the armor, and it could come back to cost them this year. I don't know.
11-1.
No, I know they're 11-1. A lot of people thought they'd go undefeated, but such is not life in the NFL. But I mean, with those teams on the horizon, the Steelers ought to be their humble selves as best they can be, because they have a heck of a chore ahead of them. And if they don't know that they can't take the Browns, they have to take the Browns very seriously going into Sunday. They haven't learned their lesson, have they?
There's absolutely no way. If the Steelers would have pounded the Browns in Cleveland, then I would have been concerned about that. But this game just happened. And the Steelers remember the words of Myles Garrett after the game. And they remember seeing videos of the Browns celebrating in their locker room like they won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about the game this week.
No,
it would be an unbelievable if the Steelers find a way to lose.
But to me, there's very little argument that the last 3 games the Steelers have are against the 3 best teams in the National Football League. Now, some people would question the Ravens after yesterday, but hey, that was a 2-point win against a great team. The
Ravens are done.
Eagles. The Ravens are basically done. Yeah,
I'm going to tell you why they're done, Hugh. They've lost 3 games this year by 22 points, combined 22 points. And in those 3 games, Justin Tucker missed kicks worth 22 points.
Yep.
They've lost their kicker. And all these games are going to be nail biters. I can't imagine. He's a Hall of Fame kicker, but how do you keep him on the team?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do there? And if Harbaugh doesn't get rid of him, I mean, we've seen it. He cannot make a big kick anymore. He's hit the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. It would appear that he has, but you never know with that talented bunch what they're capable of doing, and they can line up and play with anybody. We know that, and that was a heck of a game last night, and they were very disappointed. I think they thought they were going to win that game, but boy, thank goodness for the Steelers, they didn't.
The Buffalo Bills winning last night. Looking at their schedule, Hugh, it's interesting. They have a 1-game lead over the Steelers for that number 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Here's their schedule. Next Sunday at 4:25 at the LA Rams.
They're decent.
Following Sunday, 4:25 at the Detroit Lions.
Very decent. Best team in the NFC.
And then they close out with games versus the New England Patriots, at the New York Jets, at the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Bills don't lose one of the next 2 or 2 of the next 2, then the number 2 seed is pretty much out of reach, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would think.
And the Chiefs with a 2-game lead over the Steelers right now, even if the Steelers play them, let me look at their schedule real quick. I mean, I can only imagine potentially. I mean, the game they won the other night, Friday, on the Raiders going to win the game, and they fumbled it. I mean, they had a chip shot field goal to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
One of the all-time gaffes by the Raiders. Let's look at their schedule here. The Chiefs host the Chargers. Not easy.
No.
At Cleveland.
Easy.
Host Houston Texans.
In the middle.
At Pittsburgh.
Tough.
And they close out at Denver.
Well, and Denver is a team that would like nothing better.
And the Broncos are in the playoff line.
Don't give us any credit.
I would say right now,
That's who the Browns play tonight, right?
Yeah, you're right. I look at these schedules, and I think the Bills have a better shot to get number 1 seed than the Chiefs at this point.
Well, they may. Bills look good. Bills love to play in the snow, don't they?
Oh. and went back to my rant last week. I don't care what the Bills fans say, and they can say whatever they want. Tom will probably agree with me an hour or 2, but nobody in their right mind wants to go to a game and sit in those conditions.
No.
I mean, it's, I'm guessing it's fun, maybe once, but who wants to do that every week?
Well, it would be more fun to watch it on television than to go and see it in person, I would say.
Well, yeah. Well, if you're watching on television, it's great.
Yeah.
But are you going to go to a game and sit in a snowstorm and actually never sit? Because the seats were covered in snow.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if the Steelers were in that situation.
They were last year, remember?
Yeah, I would try to go, yeah.
Now, you didn't go last year.
No.
In Buffalo, I mean.
Right.
724-981-7900. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. More Steeler talk. Come back. We have to talk about Joey Porter. What are they going to do with Joey Porter? Stay tuned. The Pick Sports Line, presented by Flynn's Tire, right here on 790 WPIC, Sports Radio 96.7.
Make it Amway all the time. Oh. Guess what? Santa loves pets too. Come to Lingle's Hermitage Agway December 5th, 6th, and 7th and have your pet's picture taken with Santa. And since Agway stocks all kinds of food for all kinds of pets, you'll have 2 reasons to stop by. That's December 5th, 6th, and 7th. Pet pictures with Santa at Lingle's Hermitage Agway. While you're in, stock up on all your winter supplies like rock salt and driveway melt products. And everyone knows there's only one place to get the best value on propane refills, Hermitage Agway, where you don't pay full price on a partial fill, you only pay for what they put in the tank, plus they'll carry it to your car. So stock up for winter and get your pet's picture taken with Santa December 5th, 6th, and 7th at Lingle's Hermitage Agway, locally owned for more than 30 years.
Make it Agway all the time. Oh, make it Agway. Make it Agway.
Stay refreshed and hydrated with Herman's Water, your go-to bottled water choice in the Valley since 1908. Herman's premium spring water is sourced from nature's purest springs, delivering a crisp taste that quenches your thirst. Say goodbye to dehydration and hello to hydration. Visit hermanswater.com to order your supply today that can deliver to your home or office for free. Ask about our new customer offer of 1 month free rental and 2 free bottles. Herman's Water, when taste matters.
Did you know that Mancino's Driving School can give you your driver's test? That's right. Mancino's Driving School provides an approved Pennsylvania Department of Education certified driving course as well as behind-the-wheel training. Mancino's Driving School offers one-on-one, on-the-road driving lessons 7 days a week with day and evening hours. They use only certified driving instructors that have undergone extensive background investigation. For details or more information on adult training, go online to mancinosdrivingschool.com.
Gosh, honey, what's got you all chef-tastic?
You know, it's our kitchen remodel. It's got me all inspired.
Oh, are you inspired enough to make dessert?
As a matter of fact.
Is it chocolate? Oh, it's chocolate! I love you.
Get inspiration all your own with a brand new kitchen from Warner's Homes and Improvements. We create new kitchens that dreams are made of. We buy direct from the manufacturers using top quality materials with no shortcuts. The latest in style and functionality for a fair price. Call Warner's today and get inspired. Warner's Homes and Improvements on Route 19 in Mercer or online at warnersconstruction.com.
It's the Pick Sports Line, presented by Flynn's Tire and Auto Service. Need tires right now? Drive through the new speed lane at Flynn's Tire and Hermitage to get your new tires installed fast. Just drive in, and we'll get you in at Flynn's. And tell them Flinny sent you.
And we are back. Pick Sports Line, Bob and Hugh. I want to remind you, we have the Bays Pub and Grill Mercer County Team of the Month. Mailer Insurance Mercer County Athletes of the Month at the top of the hour. Also have Jerry DePaula, Tom Reisenweber, and Mississippi Rock University head coach Sean Lutz, all in hour number 2. Hugh, what do you do with Joey Porter? 6 flags yesterday, 4 were accepted. He is an absolute flag machine. Teams are targeting him clearly. And the Steelers apparently, per the TV broadcast, are having him wear gloves during practice as to help him prevent holding. But what do you make of this? What do you do?
Well, you know, he has been taught, I think, for years that as a cornerback, you need to use your hands. And he has long arms. He's what, 6? He doesn't maybe look 6'2" and a half.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
But he's right in that neighborhood. And he has big hands and long arms. And he's trying to use them to his advantage. But yesterday, he had 4 more penalties. And at some point, it's liable to cost the Steelers a football game. And I don't know. I kind of get into it with my neighbor a little bit about Joey Porter. I'm getting very, very frustrated with him because, you know, he's not having a Pro Bowl year in my mind. I think with
you, what are you talking about? Pro Bowl? He's having a no bowl.
Well,
year.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Everybody thinks he's a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback, and he has that ability. But if he continues to violate the rules, he's never going to be the success that he could be.
Let me ask you a question, Hugh. Didn't Mike Tomlin, pull an offensive lineman earlier this year during a game? Broderick Jones or somebody?
Well, yeah, he pulled Broderick Jones out.
Because he had a bunch of flags?
Yeah, and he told him he had to stand there and think about what he was doing.
So is there any punishment for Joey Porter, or just going to let him do this thing?
I think Tomlin's trying to do a similar thing with JPJ, but JPJ definitely isn't getting the message. You know, when you have guys on your football team like George Pickens, who's a problem, Joey Porter, who's a problem, you know, it kind of takes away from the team success that you're having. And, you know, you could have put Broderick Jones in that group a couple of weeks ago, but Broderick is starting to get it, Bob. He's playing better. He realizes what he has to do to be successful, and he's becoming more productive. But Joey Porter is not getting it, and the Steelers have a problem there. There's no doubt about it.
Even though from one of the Steeler media guys who posted the video that the blocked field goal yesterday, the block Boswell field goal was Broderick Jones' fault. He missed the block.
Well, I think that's probably true, yeah. But I'm just saying, on balance, Broderick Jones is playing better.
Yes.
But he was frustrating, I don't think because of an attitude. It just that either the guy was for some reason confused in his mind. Of course, his biggest disadvantage, as many of us know, is he played a surprisingly small amount of football with the national title contenders, the Georgia Bulldogs. He came out early as a junior, eligible, and you know, his part of his problem was he didn't get the playing time that one would think he would get at that level against that kind of talent. But Joey Porter, that's not his problem. Joey Porter was never this problem at Penn State, but it definitely is becoming an issue now, and I don't know what they're going to do. They need to stay after him about it.
I had a Penn State fan on Twitter who said, you're not a Penn State fan, Bob, so you never saw it, but no surprise here, this is the way he's playing. So apparently he was a flag machine at some point at college as well.
Well, he was known in college for being the grabby-feely kind of a guy, but it's becoming a significant problem, and the Steelers are going to have to deal with this. You would think that Joey Porter would be very, very coachable when you consider that his father and Mike Tomlin are very close. They've known each other for years. He was definitely the Steelers' choice when their turn came. We all knew that in the first round of the draft. They waited and waited and waited to get him, and probably would have made a trade to protect their rights to him if they needed to. But I don't know. It's a bit of a concern. He's a tremendous talent, but if he can't keep his hands off receivers, it's going to hurt the football team.
We have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Hi, you're on the Pick Sports Line.
Yeah, speaking of Penn State, how are they ranked?
How is Penn State ranked? They're ranked very high. How about that? They're playing in the Big Ten Championship.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Oregon, the number one team.
Oh, they'll lose.
Now, if they lose, they lose, but they have a great chance here. I mean, they're going to probably be in the college football playoff no matter what happens, and they got a chance to win a national championship.
So if they beat Oregon, they win the Big 12.
Big 10.
Big 10.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right. That's
this weekend.
Yes. It's this weekend, this Saturday. Let's check out some of the Facebook comments here. Mike wants to know what has happened to Mike Williams. Why is he not getting any targets?
You know, I wish I knew. He was on the field. He was actually in the formation yesterday, but he didn't get any targets. I don't understand why they went out and actively traded to get this guy, and they haven't used him yet, except on the one play. It's a mystery. Of course, a lot of people who are Steeler fans understandably would come back to us, Bob, and say, well, the way Pickens is catching the ball, you don't have a problem there. And really, I think we could say the way Austin III's been playing, you don't have a problem there. So, you know, you got those guys plus Freiermuth. Do they need the guy? Do they really need to throw him? But why did they go out and acquire him if they don't use him? I don't have an answer.
Hank says all Georgia players need 2 years pro experience before they produce. Does the name Worley ring a bell?
Tim Worley, yeah, I think it does. I remember that guy. Well, I don't know. Of course, I will tell you this, and I'm just talking off the top of my cranium on this, but I do not think Georgia players get the quality coaching that the people from Alabama and Auburn and places like that get. If you're going to compare the kind of coaching that they get at Alabama, for example, to the guy at Georgia, I don't think there's any comparison. That's my take. That's only what I see from a distance.
Mike says, congratulations to Mike Tallman, 18th consecutive non-losing season. What does that mean to you?
Amen. Well, it says a lot to me. It always has.
It's an incredible stat, though.
It is. It's unbelievable.
Mike also wants to use Justin Fields as a wide receiver.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I would say absolutely not.
No.
I want my backup quarterback to be in jeopardy of getting hurt.
But I do know that the Steelers made it very obvious today in some of the statements that I assume coaches made that they are going to take their old sweet time evaluating the play of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, and nobody is going to tell them that they have a deadline to make a decision or anything like that, that the Steelers are not going to be told what to do.
Who's telling them that?
Well, I don't know, but fans, I guess, are. And they're telling them, well, don't you sit there and count the days, because we have control of these guys, and we're going to make the decision that they feel is best for the football team. Well, and I can't argue with that.
Well, at this point, it's early, because a couple things could happen. Like, one, Russell Wilson could get hurt, and
heaven forbid,
heaven forbid, and his future would be up in the air. So you're not going to sign him,
right?
And same thing with Justin Fields. So at this point, I agree. So much time. You'll worry about that when the season is over. If the Steelers, make a run in the playoffs and Wilson plays fantastic, I'm sure that's going to be the direction. But, there's still a lot of time to talk about that.
Absolutely. They don't have to make any decision like that right now. What they have to decide is who are they going to play as they continue this run for the playoffs and certainly a chance to play in a Super Bowl. And you can't blame them for that. And right now, the decision is so obvious, it's like the nose on your face. Russell Wilson is the guy. I don't know how anybody can argue with that, especially coming off this big win over the Bengals.
Mike Tallman would say, I don't deal in hypotheticals.
Well, and he doesn't.
And I would agree with him in this case. It's a hypothetical.
Yes.
Rick asked, what's your thought on Minka? Seems late in coverage and has taken a couple terrible angles on tackles.
Well, he has made some mistakes back there, but the Steelers feel that because of the quality in their secondary, and I know some people are going to say, well, wait a minute, Hugh Ringer, you're talking about great quality in that secondary, and yet you were criticizing Joey Porter for having kind of a down year because of all his penalties. But the fact of the matter is, the Steelers went out and got a cornerback in Dante Jackson from Carolina and a strong safety in Deshaun Jackson, who is Deshaun Elliott. Very good, strong safety. Those guys, particularly Elliott, have played well in starting roles. They have Beanie Bishop Jr., who has been a real surprise at nickelback and corner. And now they have Cam Sutton, who's playing some pretty good football as the playoffs are closer and closer and closer and right upon us now. And then you have Joey Porter and Minka Fitzpatrick. The Steelers feel they have the talent back there, that they have the luxury to put their Pro Bowl free safety in deep cover zones. But as a result, Minka Fitzpatrick statistically is certainly not having a Pro Bowl caliber year.
Well, I think it's interesting because I've seen it a lot now the last couple weeks. Win or lose, the reaction by some on Steeler Nation is being heavily critical of Terrell Austin. I'm seeing it now. They should have kept Brian Flores. And I'm thinking, wait a minute.
Come on.
The team is 9-3. They're in first place. The 3 losses are excruciatingly close. And I think Terrell Austin clearly has done a great job putting this team and his defense into position to win games.
How in hell do you analyze Terrell Austin's coaching abilities from afar? How do fans think that they possibly can do that?
Well, they do.
Well, I don't know what they're looking at. I really don't.
I mean,
and you and I both know that Mike Tomlin has his hand in the defense pretty much at all times.
There's no question.
He's a defensive coach.
Now, I don't know. Do you have HBO?
HBO?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
The Steelers are on Hard Knocks.
Yes.
The AFC North. And I think the first episode's coming out Thursday.
Okay.
So very interesting. I don't know if you saw the little clip after the game yesterday.
No.
As they were going into the locker room. Mike Tomlin was stopped by, apparently, it must have been an HBO. Some of their techs were there.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want his mic on into the locker room.
Yeah.
So he was taking the microphone off. Broderick Jones saw this and said, "You were mic'd up during the game?" And Mike Tomlin said, "Get your ASS in there."
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Didn't want to hear about it from him. But it's going to be very interesting to get we've never had these peeks into the locker room or even on the sidelines with Mike Tomlin.
Well, you don't hardly think Mike Tomlin voted in favor of this, do you? I think management overruled him.
Well, they had no choice. I mean, the NFL is all about money, Hugh.
Right, absolutely.
All about money. And I mean, hence that's why they're playing 3 games in 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's complaining about it. Every player I saw is complaining about the schedule. NFL doesn't care, though. They're saying if you want to make the millions you're making, you're going to play any day we put you on.
Mm-hmm.
724-981-7900. We'll take another break, come back, check out Facebook again, get your thoughts, give us a call if you want. 724-981-7900. This is the Pick Sports Line, presented by Flynn's Tire right here on 790 Sports Radio 96.7.
The tire experts at Flynn's Tire and Auto Service make it easy to choose your next set of tires. Whether you're looking for great traction, a quiet ride, or just the lowest price, our experts will match you with the perfect tire to fit your needs, guaranteed. Flynn's Tire has amazing deals on premium Yokohama tires. Buy 4 select Yokohama tires and get $100 off. And remember, Flynn's entire price includes free installation and lifetime rotations. So when you need tires, just drive in. Flynn's will get you in today.
And tell them Finney sent you.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
H-O-M-E, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end.
Your local Erie agent is Mailer Insurance. Get a quote today at MailerInsurance.com. Mailer Insurance, a Reinhardt's agency affiliate.
Go to ErieInsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
I have done in my career literally thousands of joint replacements.
Meet Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, National Medical Director at QC Kinetics, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon who now advises patients try all they can do to avoid the knife and consider regenerative medicine.
I myself was able to continue skiing for 10 years after my knees started to be a problem because I accessed regenerative medicine.
Now, after 20 years of study, research, teaching, publications, and clinical experience, Dr. Scheinkup is regarded as one of America's true pioneers.
This is the future of medicine.
Dr. Scheinkup came to QC Kinetics after seeing what they were doing around the country, helping tens of thousands of patients get lasting relief from joint pain with no surgery and no drugs.
QC is so far ahead of the game in its science, its protocols, its people, its facilities.
Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 330-693-5037. That's 330-693-5037. Located in Howland, 330-693-5037.
You're independent. So are we. We're a locally owned independent bank. Because of that, we make our loan decisions right here at the bank. You don't have to wait for some out-of-town loan committee to get together. We offer fast, quick answers on your loan requests.
Mercer County State Bank. Member FDIC. Your community bank. Online at mcsbank.bank.
It's the Pick Sports Line, presented by Flynn's Tire and Auto Service. Need tires right now? Drive through the new speed lane at Flynn's Tire and Hermitage to get your new tires installed fast. Just drive in, and we'll get you in at Flynn's. And tell them Flinny sent you.
And welcome back, Bob and Hugh. Fans are concerned about the defense. Gene says, did you watch the game? Yes. Cincinnati punted one time all day. Actually, I just checked. They punted twice. They scored at will. There's something wrong with the defense, Hugh, Gene says.
Well, they gave up 38 points.
Well, 38. There's a asterisk besides that. The first score was a all-time gaffe by the officials.
Yes.
It should have been an interference call on George Pickens. He got dragged to the ground, Hugh, and they had an easy interception for a touchdown. I mean, they grabbed him by the helmet, and the officials said after the game, we didn't see it. Didn't see it. So they were given a gift on that, which was a huge swing. But you got to remember this, Hugh, and listeners. The Bengals came into this game with the number one receiver, number one quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, great talents.
They're bad because they have the worst defense in the league. So
That's exactly right.
Their offense is off the chart good.
Their pass game is off the chart good.
And I'm looking at it from the perspective of this, Hugh, that the Steeler offense won the game yesterday.
No question.
And my goodness, that reminds me of the olden days. What's wrong with that? That's when Big Ben was scoring 40 points a game, and you could count on that. And the defense is good enough. I think and you said it during the break. When was the last time, I don't want to jinx it, a team had a big pass against the Steelers? They shut down Jamar Chase yesterday.
That's right.
He was at least at one stretch maybe an MVP candidate. Yeah. He had the one big catch at the end of the game, but before that he had 37 yards.
And we may as well bring it up right now, Bob. The Cincy Bengals have 2 stars on offense. Well, they have 3, obviously. Their quarterback is a star.
Higgins and Chase.
Higgins is a star too, although he was hurt a lot. But I think if you told the Bengals they had to pick their 1 star and their 2 star on offense, I think that they would pick Chase as number 1, and number 1A would be their left tackle Trey Hendrickson.
What happened to him yesterday?
Well, let me tell you what happened to him. Trey Hendrickson, who many say is the best in the business, had 1 tackle and 1 quarterback hit in the whole football game. He was taken out of the game by a Steeler. And let me tell you who it was. And I don't want to hear any criticism about this guy because he has toiled for 2 years now in relative anonymity on that offensive line, playing wherever he's needed. And Dan Moore Jr., number 65, had Trey Hendrickson's lunch and dinner yesterday in that game. Now, how about that?
There you go. Dan Moore, most valuable player. A lot of us, including yours truly, thought he should be on the bench.
Well, and everybody says, he's got to go. He's the weak man in the front line. We have all these number 1 draft choices that play offensive tackle. We don't have any room for Danny Moore. Well, I'll tell you, Danny Moore is going to be one of the most coveted free agents, offensive linemen that are in the NFL at the end of the year, I suspect. I don't think there's hardly any way the Steelers can keep him, but I sure wish they would off yesterday's performance against Trey Hendrickson.
Steelers-Browns week. Interesting, though. I can imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine the Steelers going on the road across the country on a Monday night. Browns are going to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
They got to come back in a short week and go back on the road at their rival, Pittsburgh.
Well,
not easy for the Browns.
Not much of travel, but okay.
But still, they have to go on the road.
Well,
a short week against a rival.
Yeah.
And knowing the Steelers are going to be licking their chops, which, by the way, I don't know if you heard this, the Steeler-Browns game is going to have Jim Nantz and Tony Romo next week.
I did hear that.
It's the CBS, it's not their national game week.
Mm-hmm.
So they picked this game as the top 1 o'clock game next week, which is good for, I'm sure, my son in Miami who can watch the game now.
Yes, yes.
So it'll be interesting to see the Browns tonight.
Well, that's right. Well, they're my favorite announcing team. I understand Tony Romo has dropped considerably in the eyes and ears of many. That could well be. I still like the guy.
There's worse than him now.
There definitely are. But I'll tell you, Jim Nantz is the quintessential one. He is the quintessential one right now.
Here are the current playoff picture. Chiefs 1, Buffalo 2. Steelers would host. This has flipped a little bit lately, but now back
Number
to hosting Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore, the 6th seed right now.
Boy, would we love that.
Houston 4. Houston 4, Chargers 5, Baltimore 6, Denver right now. They are the 7th seed. They have a game and a half lead over Indianapolis. Indianapolis rooting for the Browns tonight. They need the Browns to win. And then, the Steelers right now, Hugh. So the 8th seed, which is the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers have a 4-game lead over them in the loss column with 5 games
you're
to go.
saying they could play the Colts?
Well, I'm just saying the Steelers have a 4-game lead to make. I mean, they have scenarios now. I'm thinking they'll come out probably tomorrow or Wednesday that they could potentially clinch a playoff spot somehow next week.
Well, yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, that would be strange.
I mean, I'm so used to the Steelers needing 19 different things that occur down the stretch.
Yeah.
But they have a legitimate chance to clinch next week.
Well, I don't see anybody mentioning the Colts as having an opportunity at all to make the playoffs, Bob. The discussion ends with the Broncos in the 7th spot.
They beat the Steelers this year. You know that.
Oh, well, that's what I mean. I don't know that I'd want to play that team. It seems to me that the Steelers don't play well against the Indy Colts. So I don't know about that.
They're at Denver. They're at Denver after the bye week, so they'll have a shot there.
Yeah.
Then they play Tennessee at the Giants, home versus Jacksonville. So Indianapolis got a favorable schedule. They could definitely be in the hunt for that last playoff spot, especially if Denver loses tonight and then they beat Denver in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Well, it's going to be interesting right down to the wire, no doubt about it.
Now, what's the status of Alex Highsmith?
Alex Highsmith, I would say, will play. He will play against the Cleveland Brownies on Sunday at Acrisure.
He was close, I think, this week.
He was close enough, but the Steelers didn't want to risk it. And I'm going to tell you what, Bob, the Steelers have a heck of a beautiful situation at rush outside linebacker with T.J. Watt, the superstar of all superstars, captain of the defense, also with Highsmith, Nick Herbig. They have tremendous, tremendous people playing outside, and inside they're not too shabby either. I love Peyton Wilson. I'm getting to love him even more than Patrick Queen, the ex-Raven. Peyton Wilson is a young star in the making, Bob.
He had a huge touchdown yesterday.
Sure did.
And Nate Herbig, another clutch play.
Oh,
and
did
it was
you
good.
See him go around the end and sack Burrow?
And it was good to see T.J. Watt making some big plays again as well.
Yep, and working on both sides. They didn't know which side he was on.
All right, that's going to do it here for Hour 1. Stay tuned. We have the Vase Pub and Grill Mercer County Team of the Month. Mailers Mercer County Athletes of the Month coming up next. Stay tuned. You are listening to the Pick Sports Line.
You're listening to News Talk 790 WPIC Sharon, Hermitage, and Sports Radio 96.7 WLLF Mercer, Hermitage, a Cumulus station.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Linda Kenyon. President Biden has pardoned his son Hunter on federal gun and tax fraud charges. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre spoke about it during the president's flight to Angola today.
He believes his son was unfairly targeted. He said that what his political opponents have done
to my son, that's his words, is cruel and enough is enough.
CBS's Natalie Brand has reaction from Donald Trump.
President-elect Trump called it, quote, an abuse of justice and added, does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter Biden include the January 6th hostages who have now been imprisoned for years?
More pushback over the president-elect's choice for defense secretary. CBS News confirms Pete Hegseth was forced to step down in 2016 as head of a veterans organization after staff complaints alleging financial mismanagement, repeated intoxication, and sexual misconduct. CBS's Nicole Killian reports.
As more of this drip of information comes out, it could potentially be a heavy lift for Hegseth, but nonetheless, he continues to be on Capitol Hill, meeting with senators to make his case.
Hegseth is an Army veteran and a Fox News host. Good news for union workers in Wisconsin who challenged a state law.
The controversial law effectively ended the ability of most public employees in Wisconsin to negotiate on pay and other issues. It also forced them to pay more for health insurance and retirement benefits. But today, a county circuit judge ruled that all of the state's public sector workers who lost their collective bargaining power under the law would have it restored.
CBS's Christopher Cruz. A South Carolina woman has been sentenced to 25 years in prison after pleading guilty in the drunk driving death of a bride on her wedding night in 2023. Jamie Lee Komorowski addressed the court.
Please know that I will always be devastated, deeply ashamed, and terribly sorry for what I have done.
An American hostage being held in Gaza is now presumed dead. CBS's Cami McCormick has the story.
The Israeli army says the 21-year-old Israeli-American soldier was killed in the October 7th attack. His body is still in Gaza. Omer Nutra was born in the U.S. before immigrating to Israel, where he joined the army. More than 60 hostages thought to still be alive are being held in Gaza, along with the bodies of more than 30 others.
Days after the Buffalo, New York area got buried under lake-effect snow, people are still digging out in the nearby community of Dunkirk, where the sound of snowblowers fills the air. And more snow is on the way. And on this Cyber Monday,
we're expecting about $13.2 billion to be spent on Cyber Monday.
This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility, great pay, and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Hello, everyone. It's your favorite president, Donald J. Trump, here to introduce something really special. You're going to love it. My new Trump watches. It's one of the best watches made. Wear it proudly on your wrist, and everyone will know what it's for, who it's for, what it represents. Get your Trump watch right now. Go to gettrumpwatches.com. It's Trump time.
That's right. President Trump has won the election, and now he's released his official Trump watches. Celebrate this historic victory with a Trump watch that stands for strength, leadership, and winning. But don't wait, because these limited edition watches won't be around for long. Go to gettrumpwatches.com now to get your Trump watch before they're gone. Don't miss your chance to own a piece of history. Go now to gettrumpwatches.com and get your watch today. This ad paid for by the Best Watches on Earth, LLC. See gettrumpwatches.com for details. Trump watches are not intended for investment purposes.
Go to gettrumpwatches.com for our Black Friday sale going on now.
A dictionary is honoring a new slang term. CBS's Deborah Rodriguez spells out the details.
The Oxford English Dictionary has taken a cue from young people and all that time spent on social media to select its word of the year.
Hi, are you suffering from brain rot?
Let's see if you have brain rot.
Oxford defines it as supposed deterioration of a person's mental or intellectual state, particularly stemming from overconsumption of trivial online content. The company says usage jumped by 230% over the past year. Brain rot beat out 5 other shortlisted words, including demure, lumber sexual, and romanticy. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Oxford's top word last year was Riz. And if you don't know what that means, I don't know what it means either. And a Delaware judge has rejected a request to restore Elon Musk's $56 billion Tesla compensation package. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
It's now time to present the Vase Pub and Grill Mercer County Team of the Month. Vase Pub and Grill, in conjunction with 790 WPIC and Sports Radio 96.7, will honor one Mercer County team each month who has shown teamwork, leadership skills, sportsmanship, athletic, and academic achievement. Now, let's meet this month's Vase Pub and Grill Mercer County Team of the Month.
And it is that time of the month. And for the first time, this is the first time in the years we have awarded a Team of the Month. As you heard our intro, we say one Team of the Month. But for the first time, we'll be awarding two Teams of the Month. Why? Because we are honoring the Lakeview Sailors boys and girls cross-country teams. They both won District 10 championships. First time in school history, both programs won district titles in the same year under head coach Logan Hogue. Both teams finished in the top 10 in the state as a team. The boys finished 4th. The girls finished 9th. The girls are all underclassmen. An incredible stat at districts. All 14 runners, 7 girls, 7 boys, who competed, all ran PRs. They all ran personal records at the district championship meet. So congratulations to head coach Logan Hogue and the Lakeview boys and girls cross-country teams. They are the Vase Pub and Grill Mercer County Teams of the Month. You?
You know, that's impressive that you chose to recognize both teams, considering that they were all part of a team and succeeded as a team. And you don't oftentimes see that, Bob. There are one or two runners that lead the way, and you wouldn't have won it without those guys or those girls. But this is certainly something that is very, very deserving.
No question about it. And the boys team returned to states for the third straight year after winning the District 10 title in 22. Finishes as a runner-up in 23. The Lakeview girls winning a district title in 21, and they return everybody next year. So they're going to be heavy favorites to do it again. So congratulations to Lakeview Sailors, the boys and girls cross-country team. They are the Vase Pub and Grill Mercer County Team of the Month.
We wish you were dining with us. We wish you were dining with us. We wish you were dining with us. 'Cause the good stuff's right here.
Celebrate the Holla Vase at Vase Pub and Grill. Check out Vase Christmas Bar and holiday drink features. Reservations are now accepted in the bar. Vase Pub and Grill, 3176 East State Street, next to FNB in Hermitage. Open Tuesday through Saturday at 11 a.m.
Congratulations to this month's Vase Pub and Grill Mercer County Team of the Month. For more information, visit vasepubandgrill.com. Mailer's Insurance is proud to present the Mercer County Athletes of the Month. Each month, one male and one female athlete from Mercer County will be honored. Now, let's meet this month's Mailer Insurance Mercer County Athletes of the Month.
And it's that time of the month as well. Our two honors we do monthly, and two more outstanding athletes being honored here tonight by Mailer's Insurance, and both are runners. Hard to deny these two. Let's first honor the female athlete of the month from the sport of cross country out of Jamestown High School, Karis McElhaney. She is the Mercer County November Female Athlete of the Month. How about her story? Karis won her first District 10 title this year after finishing second twice and third once. She also became a rare, very rare, 4-time PIAA medal winner. She has won this award before. Last year in track and field, she was a state runner-up. She is also a YSU commit, Division I commitment. Karis McElhaney of Jamestown. She is the Vase Pub and Grill Mercer County November Athlete of the Month, Hugh.
I'll tell you, that is very hard to do in a sport like cross country because, you never know how the body changes and so forth, and more so in that sport than any other. But that is a something to be commended, no doubt about it.
Yeah, she has been very consistent in two sports and had a great year again, and 4-time medal winner at states, won her first District 10 championship 4 times in the top 3. I mean, just very impressive, Karis McElwaney of Jamestown. Talking about impressive, not more or many more impressive than MJ Pottinger of Grove City. He is a repeat winner of this award. He won his second District 10 cross-country championship, helping lead his team to the 2024 state championship. One of the most successful runners in the history of Grove City High School. Also had to deal with an emergency appendectomy middle of the season. And that impacted him to a point where he helped the team win a state championship, but he was a favorite to win a state title. He medaled, but because of all the fallout from that surgery, he did what he had to do to get back running for his team, but had to give up something. He's also a Division I commit. He is also going to Youngstown State University. MJ Pottinger of Grove City, the Mailers Insurance Mercer County November Athlete of the Month.
And he overcame a lot of adversity to get where he was. This is a group of young men and women that deserve our praise and commendation, Bob, big time.
No question about it. So congratulations to Karis McElwaney of Jamestown, MJ Pottinger of Grove City, the Mailers Insurance November Mercer County Athletes of the Month.
My car does more than take me from here to there, and I expect my insurance to do more too. That's why I chose my agent and Erie Insurance. They offer first accident forgiveness and the service I deserve at a price I can afford.
Your local Erie agent is Mailer Insurance. Get a quote today at mailerinsurance.com. Mailer Insurance, a Reinhardt's agency affiliate.
Erie Insurance services are provided by one or more of the following insurers: Erie Insurance Company, Erie Insurance Property and Casualty Company, or Flagship City Insurance Company, home offices Erie, Pennsylvania, or Erie Insurance Company of New York, home offices Rochester, New York, an equal opportunity insurer.
Congratulations to this month's winners. The Mailers Insurance Athlete of the Month Award is open to any Mercer County High School student who participates in any sport that's recognized and funded by their school. The winners will be selected by the staff of News Talk 790 WPIC and Sports Radio 96.7 on the first Monday of each month. If you have any questions or comments, please contact Bob Greenberg at Cumulus Media or go online at Reinhardts.com.
It's the Pick Sports Line, presented by Flynn's Tire and Auto Service. Need tires right now? Drive through the new speed lane at Flynn's Tire and Hermitage to get your new tires installed fast. Just drive in, and we'll get you in at Flynn's. And tell them Flinny sent you.
And we're back here, Pick Sports Line, Bob and Hugh. And joining us as per usual at this time slot is Jerry DePaula, Trib Live Media. Jerry DePaula covering the Pitt Panthers for us. And Jerry, another wild few-day stretch for the Pitt Panthers. The Pitt basketball team coming off one of their most impressive wins in recent memory, and now getting the accolades nationally. And the Pitt football team, the collapse continues. What is your headline out of both of those teams?
I guess in big bold letters, Pitt football left behind, because you got the basketball team that is now ranked. Did you see the NCAA net rankings today?
Yes, unbelievable.
It is number 5 in net rankings after their quad one record is 3-1, which is outstanding at this point in the season. But the basketball team is hot. The men's soccer team won their tournament game yesterday, and of course the women's volleyball team is the overall number one seed in the upcoming NCAA tournament. So football really has not lived up to expectations. They're building after that 7-0 start, but there's a lot of reasons for it. And I hate to keep talking about injuries, but when you lose your quarterback, and you lose your starting left tackle, and you lose your best running back for the last game, Desmond Reed, that's very hard to come back from. But the talent level just wasn't there anyway. The depth wasn't there on the offensive line for sure. And to give Eli Holstein credit for pulling out those 2 victories against West Virginia and Cincinnati, because it really didn't play that well in those games for three-fourths of them.
And now, Jerry, we have Pitt players we find out today that are looking very eagerly at the transfer portal. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's three guys that are reserves. No big little cornerback. Terrence Moore, a backup center. Those guys were not going to play. They were not in Pitt's plans, I'm sure. For next season because Terrence Moore had lost the center position to Lyndon Cooper, who actually missed one game late in the season, and Moore did play in that game. He only had 10 starts in 4 years. Bigelow had no starts in 4 years. They really, didn't lose anybody yet. Now that could happen. I mean, the portal doesn't open until next Monday, so a lot of things can happen between now and next Monday. And then the Pitt is also looking at an offensive lineman from Western Carolina, a big guy who also has a lot of interest from a lot of other schools too. A guy who played for Cade Bell in Western Carolina, and so I think that Pitt's has a lot of rebuilding to do. It's a very, very important offseason, as they all are for Pat Narduzzi. He has to find offensive linemen, big time offensive linemen. At least two starters for that offensive line. He has to find another wide receiver, at least one, to replace Konate Mumfield, who's moving on to the NFL. And I think they could probably use another backup running back. But you don't know what Desmond Reed's going to do either. Desmond Reed missed the last game with an injury, the Boston College game. But he could go to the NFL. It's very likely, not likely, but it's very within the realm of possibility that he could go to the NFL and decide that he's ready to play with his speed and the way he can move in open spaces. I think he'd be a draft pick for sure in 2025.
Jerry, Pat Narduzzi, I think, was asked, I don't know if you were there, but was asked if he considered this season a success. He said yes. Your thought?
Well, what's he going to say? He's not going to say it was an abject failure, which it wasn't. It was not an abject failure. A lot of people. I wrote a story yesterday about Pitt's bowl possibilities, and I got a lot of response from people who say they don't deserve to go to a bowl. Well, yes, they do deserve to go to a bowl. The bowl games are set up where teams who win 6 or more games, no matter who those games are against, no matter when those games occurred, they can go to a bowl game. And Pitt won 7. So yeah, they're going to back into a bowl. They're going to limp into a bowl, but they definitely deserve to go. And I can't blame Narduzzi for saying that the season was a success. And he doesn't want to throw his players under the bus and say, "Oh, you guys all stink and we're horrible." No, he's going to say it was a success because they were 7-0 at one point. And you remember, probably after that 6th or 7th game, you guys, when we were talking to you on Monday night, Bob and you, we were talking about, hey, how about Pitt and Penn State in the college football playoff? Because people are talking about that, right?
Right.
And it seems silly now to even think about it, but that was the thought. I mean, Pitt was ranked. They weren't in the top 12 at that point, but they never were. But they were approaching it, and then they got clobbered by SMU down there. And Holstein got hurt, and Brandon Taylor, the offensive left tackle, got hurt and missed half the season. Injuries are not an excuse, but they're a reason for what happened because Pat Narduzzi did not recruit enough depth on the offensive line, and that's a big problem. And at running back too. I mean, he had problems at running back. He lost Daniel Carter, his backup to Reed. Rodney Hammond, was suspended for 4 games, played a little bit. Then he decided he wanted the red shirt. He'll probably transfer to another school. So he has a lot of thinking to do this offseason and a lot of phone calls to make. That's for sure.
Jerry, give us the names of a couple of possible teams that the Panthers could play in a bowl game.
Well, I think there's been some talk about Baylor. I wrote that story yesterday, and Baylor sounded like an interesting thing, and also Michigan. Michigan ended up with a 7-5 record. And their team that is going to go to a bowl, and maybe the Big Ten and the ACC can get together because I think there's several bowls in which they pick from the ACC and the Big Ten, and I think Pitt Michigan is a possibility. Pinstripe Bowl is a possibility. Possibly. I think Pinstripe would love to have Pitt and Michigan probably. I've heard Sun Bowl also. 2 years ago, Pitt went to the Sun Bowl and they played UCLA and they had a good experience. They could go back there too and play somebody like Nebraska. I guess is a possibility. They're bowl eligible, aren't they? I think that could possibly happen too.
Jerry, obviously, because at least some of the reaction from some of the Pitt insiders over the weekend, clearly Pitt needs to improve their Alliance 412. They have to up their NIL program if they're going to try to take the next step. Is that pretty accurate at this point?
Oh, I think it is, and it was displayed today, guys, when the Demarion Folks, a wide receiver from Maryland, a high school wide receiver from Maryland, rated by a four-star by some services, flipped his commitment from Pitt to Missouri because he wants to play in the SEC. And of course, these kids aren't going to say, "Well, they offered me more money," but that in a lot of cases, that's how things turn out. They're going to go to the highest bidder, just like NFL free agency. It's no different than NFL free agency. These NFL free agents, they go to the team that offers the most money, and these college kids, these transfer kids too, they're going to go to the teams that offer the most money. And Pitt is going to really have to upgrade their NIL game. Under Heather Lyke, it wasn't that great. She really never embraced it fully. Alan Green, the new AD, I already talked to him one time since he was hired in October. But I asked him, I said, is it hard to raise money? They ask people for money. And he says, well, I create a vision for these people and show them what could become of this program if we have your help. And that's what he's going to have to do. Put his hand out and try to get some more money into the coffers so they can pay these kids. Because starting in 2025, you're going to pay everybody. Every school has to come up with at least $20 million to pay all the athletes in their programs. And that doesn't even count the guys you're going to entice to come from other schools or from high school. So it's a tough time to be a college administrator or a college head coach, especially in football and basketball.
Jerry, before we talk about basketball, one last question. I'm hearing the debate now, and it's going to build up some steam here about the football championships, college football championships. If you're a lock number one draft pick, in the past you'd have to play a league championship game and one bowl game. Now you're looking at maybe 3 or 4 games. I mean, is it getting to the point now where that's going to be in jeopardy? Why would some of these stars want to jeopardize a potential future, or is the money going to be good enough for these players to take that risk?
Well, a lot of kids, are going to stay in school because they're going to make more money, playing for their college than they would as a rookie year in the NFL, especially if they're not a high draft pick. Kenny Pickett, didn't play in the bowl game after he won the ACC championship, and he was the number one draft pick. So that's case number one. He may have still have been a number one draft pick, but he didn't want to take the risk of getting hurt. And guys get hurt in these games. It's possible. It's happened in several different instances, and it could very well happen. I think some of these lesser bowl games are probably in more trouble than some of the bigger ones, because I think these college kids, if they're going to be in the tournament, they're going to be one of the 12 teams in the college football playoff. I think they're going to want to play. In most cases, they're going to want to play. There'll be the outliers where kids will, even with a chance to win a national championship, they're going to sit it out. But most kids will play. Pickett, if Pickett would have been eligible for a national championship that year, and they had gone maybe into the postseason undefeated, I feel pretty strongly that he would have played in the playoff games.
Now let's talk about a better story. The Pitt basketball team, as you had mentioned, we wake up today and find out that Pitt now ranked 5th in the net rankings, which is what the NCAA basketball committee uses to seed teams. It's a stunning jump for the program, not surprising, but coming off one of the more incredible wins in recent memory. Just your thought, Jerry.
Yeah, and it was very interesting. They were able to do that without Damian Dunn. Damian Dunn, was their second leading scorer, I believe, at 15 or so points a game before he hurt his wrist. And he didn't play against Ohio State. He was sitting on the bench with his wrist in a cast, and there's a good chance he'll be back in early January, I think, but he's going to miss the games coming up this week. Mississippi State Wednesday night and Virginia Tech to start the ACC season on Saturday. And then he'll miss 2 games against mid-majors, and then there'll be a big break. So there's a chance that he won't miss too many ACC games. But, they played well without him. Jalen Lowe looked like a number one draft pick, didn't he? 28 points in that game. He made the big play with a three-pointer. He got fouled there and made the 3 foul shots, and then he made the pass to Austin to win the game with the big shot. But you know what? In order for him to get those 3 foul shots, to be fouled trying a three-pointer, Beaver Cummings, Brandon Cummings, the kid from Lincoln Park, had to come up with a rebound. freshman, come up with a rebound and get the ball too low, or else he would have never had a chance to hit those 3-foot free throws. So they have some depth right now, and I got to mention Papa Conte. Papa Conte is a big guy that didn't play last year because he hurt his knee in practice. He didn't have too many significant minutes until Saturday or Friday when he came off the bench, and he gave Pitt some really good rebounding and hit a lot of clutch foul shots down the stretch. And he plays with a lot of passion. I can attest to that because when I was at the ACC tournament last March, Conte wasn't playing, but he was on the bench, and every time Pitt would do something good, he would be up screaming and yelling and encouraging his teammates. He's a great teammate, guy who plays with a lot of enthusiasm, and I think this team, with as close as they are and as talented as they are and as deep as they are, they have a chance for not only a NCAA tournament bid, but a deep run in the NCAA tournament. I think now it's early, and it's hard to make predictions at this point of the season, but right now it looks good.
I'll tell you, Jerry, I agree with you. And we thought the guards were great last year. I don't know about what this group of guards, especially if they get Damian Dunn back, say early, mid-January, this group collectively could be better than last year's.
I think, though, those three guards, including Dunn and Ishmael Leggett, are probably the three best guards on one team in the ACC. I can't think of another ACC team that can go three deep with their guards like Pitt can. And that's a credit to Jeff Capel bringing these kids in. Two of them are transfers. One of them got out of high school, and it was probably the best of the bunch. I feel very confident that Jalen Lowe's going to go to the NBA after this season. He looks like he can play in the NBA right now. He's not as big as Bob Carrington, but I think he's a little better slasher than Bob Carrington. He gets to the rim with that underhand shot of his that sort of patented shot that not too many people can take, but he's quick enough to get it off. And, he's just having a great season. And I think that Jeff Capel has put together a winner here. And I remember, people were talking, I digress a little bit. People were talking about, fire Pat Narduzzi because, they lost 5 games, blah, blah, blah. There was a lot of people talking a couple of years ago, fire Jeff Capel. And guess what? They didn't fire Jeff Capel mainly because his buyout was too high. And Narduzzi's buyout is probably too high, too. But see, if you give these guys a chance, they can rebuild the program. And Narduzzi did it once. They were 20 in 2017. They were 5-7. Then he gets them into the ACC championship game twice after that. And I think that people want instant gratification. They want their teams to win now. They want their teams to win every year. Well, it doesn't happen that way. Pitt's been competitive in football for the most part in the 10 years under Narduzzi. And now that they're smart enough to keep Jeff Capel, they're going to be competitive in basketball for a long time, too.
It's going to be an interesting run in the Atlantic Coast Conference this year, is it not, Jerry?
Oh, yeah, it is. It's going to be interesting because right now Pitt is only behind Duke in the AP rankings. I think Duke is, what did I see, 9 or 8 or 9 or something like that. And then it's Pitt at 18. They're ahead of North Carolina, and they're also ahead of UConn. Two-time defending champion UConn is 25, and Pitt is 18 in the AP. So it's going to be fun to see how things turn out, and I'm looking forward to some of the games against top competition coming up, especially Wednesday night against a Mississippi State team that was ranked and is 6-1 until they lost to Butler the other day.
Jerry, one last question. We'll let you go. I know the one question that was asked after the Ohio State win was, how did Papa Conte not get on the floor at all this year, especially in the Wisconsin game? Has that ever been answered?
Yeah, I think it was. I remember Jeff Capel was asked that question either before the season or right after the season started a few weeks ago, and he said he wanted to monitor his recovery from his knee injury. He had a very serious knee injury that made him miss the entire season last year, and I think Capel was being smart and was watching him and making sure that he was ready to go, ready to put up with contact and all the competitiveness that goes on in high stakes college basketball. And I think they just watched him. He didn't play at all in the Greenbrier tournament. I don't believe he got in either game, which is the 2 games immediately prior to the Ohio State game. So, I think that's the reason. He was just monitoring his health, which is a smart thing to do.
Jerry, we appreciate your time as always. Have a great week, and we look forward to chatting with you next Monday.
Okay, gentlemen. Thanks. Have a good evening.
Okay, Jerry.
All right, Jerry DePaula, Trib Live Media. We're going to take a break and come back and change gears. This week in District 10 coming up next. And then we'll be joined by the Sippy Rock University head coach, Sean Lutz. What a resume he has. 81-20 is his record as a coach at Sippy Rock. And they're playing in the national quarterfinals on Saturday. That's coming up as well. Stay tuned. The Pick Sports Line back in a moment.
The tire experts at Flynn's Tire and Auto Service make it easy to choose your next set of tires. Whether you're looking for great traction, a quiet ride, or just the lowest price, our experts will match you with the perfect tire to fit your needs, guaranteed. Flynn's Tire has amazing deals on premium Yokohama tires. Buy 4 select Yokohama tires and get $100 off. And remember, Flynn's entire price includes free installation and lifetime rotations. So when you need tires, just drive in. Flynn's will get you in today.
And tell them Finney sent you.
When taste matters, come to Philadelphia Candies and enjoy over 120 different kinds of chocolates. Taste our rich, creamy, milk dark, and bittersweet chocolate. Our croquettes are made with real butter in the cream center, coated in chocolate, and rolled in freshly roasted peanuts. Chocolate-covered fruits, nuts, caramels, and meltaways satisfy too. On East State Street in Hermitage and at Creekside Place in Boardman. Since 1919, Philadelphia Candies has made extraordinary chocolates with exceptional taste, quality, and value.
Bay's Pub and Grill is proud to award the November 2024 Mercer County Team of the Month. Bay's is proud to announce Lakeview boys and girls cross country teams are the November Mercer County Teams of the Month. Congratulations to Lakeview coach Logan Hogue and his pair of District 10 championship teams as they are the November Bay's Pub and Grill Mercer County Teams of the Month. For more information, go to bayspubandgrill.com.
Imagine a bathroom that's not just a room, but a sanctuary. At Warner's Homes and Improvements, they believe in taking the time to get it right. That's why they are proud to introduce their bathroom installation service, where done in a day is a thing of the past. Experience the difference of a bathroom designed for you, not the clock. Visit Warner's Homes and Improvements on Route 19 in Mercer or at warnerconstruction.com. Warner's Homes and Improvements, where your bathroom is our masterpiece. Don't rush perfection.
When you're a grower, you know what it takes to thrive in the field. My bank understands and respects that. When you've got a financial partner working alongside you, it makes the days a little easier and the numbers all add up. My bank is experienced when it comes to agriculture. My family's been doing business with them for a long time. I'm independent, and so is my bank.
Mercer County State Bank. Member FDIC. Your community bank. Online at mcsbank.bank.
The tire experts at Flynn's Tire and Auto Service make it easy to choose your next set of tires. Whether you're looking for great traction, a quiet ride, or just the lowest price, our experts will match you with the perfect tire to fit your needs, guaranteed. Flynn's Tire has amazing deals on premium Yokohama tires. Buy 4 select Yokohama tires and get $100 off. And remember, Flynn's entire price includes free installation and lifetime rotations. So when you need tires, just drive in. Flynn's will get you in today.
And tell them Finney sent you.
Retired or planning to retire soon? Do you want to save money by paying less on your taxes? Then let the experts at Legacy Financial show you how by visiting LegacyTaxBill.com right now. Use Legacy's tax bill calculator. Fill in the value of your IRA, 401k, and other qualified plans. Retirement is something you've worked your whole life for, so don't let the IRS take that away. Go to LegacyTaxBill.com. Go to LegacyTaxBill.com to schedule your free consultation. Retired or planning to retire soon? Do you want to save money by paying less on your taxes? Then let the experts at Legacy Financial show you how by visiting LegacyTaxBill.com right now. Use Legacy's tax bill calculator. Fill in the value of your IRA, 401k, and other qualified plans. Retirement is something you've worked your whole life for, so don't let the IRS take that away. Go to LegacyTaxBill.com. Go to LegacyTaxBill.com to schedule your free consultation.
It's the Pick Sports Line, presented by Flynn's Tire and Auto Service. Need tires right now? Drive through the new speed lane at Flynn's Tire and Hermitage to get your new tires installed fast. Just drive in, and we'll get you in at Flynn's. And tell them Flinny sent you.
And we're back. Normally it's this week in District 10, but with all the snow that they're getting in Erie, we have not heard from Tom. Hopefully he's okay. We will flip segments here, and then we'll get back to Tom, hopefully in about 15 minutes. Our next guest, is the head football coach of the Sippy Rock University football team. The Rock, what a career he has had. He was a Massillon High grad, went to play college football at West Virginia University, had a great career there, and has been at Sippy Rock for over 20 years, the last 8 as the head football coach. An incredible run, 81 wins and 20 losses as the head coach, and they're coming off a win for the ages, converting a trick play 2-point conversion in overtime to advance to the national quarterfinals this Saturday against Cal. I had a chance to chat with head coach Sean Lutz earlier today. Here is our conversation.
So joining us is Sean Lutz, the 8th-year head coach of the Sippy Rock University Rock football team, and a team getting ready for a big-time NCAA quarterfinal matchup this Saturday. And first off, Coach, congratulations on your success.
Hey, thank you. It means a lot, Bob, coming from you. People don't realize the job you and your whole team in the area. Just we're I see it and I look around, being a college football coach, the coverage, the tweets, every sport. That's what I like. It's not just football, basketball. It's a women's sports. It's everything. People don't realize what they have in this local area. I'm just really honored and privileged to be a part of this show, but the job you guys do. And I know you can't make everybody happy in this world sometimes, not getting this, not getting that, but people got to really appreciate the job that you guys do. So thanks for having me on today.
Appreciate that. Love to talk about SRU, especially at this time of year. And you're coming off one of the more dramatic victories in school history. Just talk about how that game played out and how it led to a play that will be relived for many years.
Well, I always use that word probably too much. People get sick of it, the word relentless, but I live that, and that's kind of our approach in that game. Now, Kutztown has had our number. Like last year, we lost to them in the PSAC championship game. We lost to them in the national regional finalist game, where we outgained them the whole game over 300 yards. They only had 2 first downs in the second half. And we kind of took this game personal. They were the number 1 seed. We lost one game in the regular season to California, who California lost to them in the PSAC championship game. And this is the second year in a row. Last year, we beat Tiffin, who was a number 1 seed. And no one expected us to win that game except our guys. We really made it personal. And these guys just played great situational football. We didn't turn over the football. And I just knew this. We were up end of the third quarter. It was a slugfest. They're a physical football team. And we were up, I think it was 9-7. And they came back, and we went down and scored. We made a 2-point conversion. Right before the end of the game, we were going to kick a field goal. They said our guy didn't get out of bounds. I feel like he did. The game was going to overtime. And I knew right from there, being on the road and how we are, I don't know why enough coaches don't do this. There's going to be a play or two that happens in overtime that can make we're going to go for 2. So how about this one? In overtime, it's 3rd and 15 for Kutztown. We sacked the quarterback where it would have been 4th and 30, probably took him out of field goal range. Trevor Valente, I always like to say kind of local guys from Shenango High School, grabs the face mask, and it would have been 4th and forever. It was an automatic first down, which was a good call. They scored a touchdown. So we get the ball back, and we score. But we score. It was 3rd and 13. We throw a deep pass. Braden Long, our all-world quarterback, to Logan Ramper, scores a touchdown. And then right there, I knew it. We did a hook and ladder. We practice this every Friday. We throw it to the receiver. The receiver looks like he's going to get tackled. He pitches behind to our running back, Dries Lawrence, and he scores the 2-point conversion, and the place went crazy. It was awesome. We were on Sports Center, and what I'm so proud of is small school college football. If you've never been to a game, it's just the passion these guys have. We can't give them these money deals that they're getting at the Division I level. Just see the passion, the enthusiasm these guys got, and we got some recognition all over Sports Center for that play. It was one of those games that's going to go down as one of my most memorable moments for sure.
Coach, one of the things that we like to track, of course, are the local players that come out of Mercer County and go to the next level. And you have a couple that are contributing big time on your football team this year. and Kylon Wilson and Michael Henwood. Talk about those two and what they mean to this football team this year.
Yeah, I mean, what we do in our program, we again, we have been recruiting nationally, but the biggest mistake that people can make is you better take care of your backyard. And our backyard is this area because we're here in this area and we're going to try to get the best players. And you do a great job of tracking those guys, not only at the Division III level, Division II level, Division I level, and it means a lot. And those two guys are just unbelievable. So I got, Michael Henwood's story real quick. The game before New Haven, he might have made the play of the game that I thought could have been on Sports Center. And, Michael played quarterback at Hickory. Everybody knows about that. He's going to try to be a doctor, so he has a 4.0 here. But there's so much about intelligence in the game of football. He broke down on a coverage in cover 2. He's supposed to be a deep half safety. He bit on it. The kid was going to run. He caught the ball, number one receiver. He was going to run for a touchdown in the end zone. He didn't even see him. Mike just hustles, with his speed, punches the ball out from behind at the 1 yard line. And this would have tied up the game. We were only winning 14-7 against New Haven. The ball goes in the end zone and goes out of the end zone for a freaking touchback. He is a guy that is just resilient as you get, and just so proud of him. And then Kylon Wilson, I know you're a Pitt guy. I think he can honestly, and I'm not just saying this, can play at that level. The guy is a missile. First of all, he's so compacted. He's so strong. He is called Flash for a reason. He is just fast, and he leads the country in returns of something. He's going to break records here. But I'm telling you what, he is one of the best players on our football team, probably in the country. And I know it's a transfer portal we live in, but he could play at any level. I'm just really gracious. Both those guys are in our program, and they're making a great impact.
Talk about the transfer portal. How has that changed your life as a college football coach?
I hate it. I hate it. And number one, I hate where the college football game is going at all. I don't like to see, because these kids, you want kids to go through adversity and you want kids to fight through tough times. That's why this Saturday you saw a lot of fights across college football. I mean, if they don't get what they want, they haven't been in a program for a lot of years. And number one, I hate it for high school football because anymore, everybody's trying to find the best guy from the portal, and it's hurting high school recruiting. And I don't like it at all. And actually, we're going to fill, and we all got to get caught up, but we're going to establish high school players still in our program, but we are going to fill immediate needs. And I noticed this, the more Division I teams are looking in the portal, so we can get a better high school football player that can really go Division I. For example, Kylon Wilson. He's not a Division I player, at least in the MAC conference or this conference. He definitely is. But I hate where this is going. It's like guys face any adversity whatsoever. They want to get in a portal right now. And if they're not getting the money from the deals that they're getting from all these people, they're doing the same thing. That's why I respect and I love the Division II level, the Division III level, because it's just more pure to me. Kids are loving to play the game no matter what. But the portal is not. Again, we're in it. We're going to fill our needs, but we're also going to have balance. That's the key. It's not going to be all portal guys. We're going to have balance with high school and some portal guys that can fill immediate needs. But I hate where this is going. I don't like it at all. That's why you see, Bob, really, you see head coaches, okay, that are going as coordinators at some college programs, and you see coordinators go in the NFL, so they don't have to deal with this stuff anymore.
Talking about the portal, talk about your future. I mean, you've had a lot of success at this level. I'd imagine there'd be some feelers out there to get you to the next level. What's your goals for the future?
Yeah, I am very honored to be where I'm at. I love the stability. I do have a goal. I'm not for everybody. I use the word relentless a lot. I'm very competitive, but I love our guys. I love our players. I want to see them do great things. And I'm honored to be here as a head coach. But our goal is to win a national championship. It really is. We're down to the final 8 right now, and that's the goal. I always got to look at the opportunities, but I'm not going to take a job just to take a job. And I can see myself being here, but you just never know. You always got to explore your options. I think I've been loyal to this program, the university. I've been here over 25 years. I know you're a Clarion guy, and you take a lot of pride in being that. It's a great conference, and I just love what I'm doing. But, you know, you always got to look, is the grass really greener on the other side? So it's got to be the right opportunity. But I'm very happy here. I have a young son, and it's been a great place for me.
Coach, you got a chance. Sometimes you don't get a do-over chance many times in life, but you and your team will get one this Saturday, taking on a Cal team that had your number back in middle of October, losing down there 28-7. What went wrong that day, and what needs to change here this Saturday?
Yeah, great question. We needed it. We won a lot of games. We've been really successful in the West, and sometimes you need to face some adversity. And we've had our number with Cal. I don't think we lost to Cal leading up to that point 6 or 7 years. And flat out Cal outplayed us. We didn't come ready to play. It was on me. And I think that gave our guys a little bit of hunger to know what they need to do. And the way we're taking this game, and it's funny, Coach McGeese has some players on California and Slippery Rock. You also got Anthony Jackson, and they got Cabron, and I think Wade, and maybe Norris. I hope I get those guys right. And he made something on Facebook in that. And I said, but tell them where you played and who you're really rooting for. So, but this is a game that is revenge. I mean, it's hard to be a team twice. They're really good at what they do. We're going down there. And just think about it for these young men. You have an opportunity after this game to be one of the Final Four teams in the country. And we're probably next game getting on a flight to go somewhere and close to going to play in the national championship game. So Cal's loaded offensively. They got a big-time quarterback. They got a lot of weapons right there. But we're going down there. I guarantee we're going to show up. We're going down there to win the game. And we got a team that has a lot of pride. Kind of fun fact, too. Our starting safety, who was an all-conference guy, his dad is the running back coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Eddie Faulkner. He's our safety. So I know you're a diehard Steeler fan, and he was the acting OC, whatever it was. Now he's just the running back coach, and his receivers, his running backs are doing pretty well. But we're ready to go, and we're going to give everything we got for this upcoming Saturday.
Coach Sean Lutz, I know you're a busy guy. We appreciate you joining us tonight on the program, and always like to put the spotlight on our local schools that are doing great, and obviously your program is near the top of the success here in our area.
No, I appreciate that, Bob, and I'm not just saying to give you guys and your team. You guys got a tough job and make everybody happy out there. I just feel like this time of year, getting close to Christmas and being thankful, people need to be thankful for what you guys do and what you bring to the table in local sports. Go somewhere else, guys. I'm telling you, they don't have this. You guys do that. In this world, we can't make everybody happy. And I just like hearing your comments on those Steeler games. Though. I like seeing those tweets right there. You said that has nothing to do. That's my own views right there. But I like to hear that. And no offense, I am a Browns fan. I let my kids be Steeler fans. I don't have anything to be proud of that way. But thanks for having me on today.
That's a good father. You've directed your kids down the right path to avoid all the stress that you've had as a Browns fan, for sure, Coach.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
But best of luck this Saturday. We'll all be rooting for the Rock for sure.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
In 1973, Lock, Stock, and Barrel opened their doors and served their first of over 3 million giant submarine sandwiches. And they still serve 42 whole subs on 15-inch buns. Lock, Stock, and Barrel also has burgers, specialty sandwiches, wraps, gyros, salads, wings, and even breakfast. Lock, Stock, and Barrel is also a full-service deli. Party rings, meat and cheese trays, and cold veggie trays are all available. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Closed Sundays and Mondays.
Retired or planning to retire soon? Do you want to save money by paying less on your taxes? Then let the experts at Legacy Financial show you how by visiting LegacyTaxBill.com right now. Use Legacy's tax bill calculator. Fill in the value of your IRA, 401k, and other qualified plans. Retirement is something you've worked your whole life for, so don't let the IRS take that away. Go to LegacyTaxBill.com. Go to LegacyTaxBill.com to schedule your free consultation. retired or planning to retire soon? Do you want to save money by paying less on your taxes? Then let the experts at Legacy Financial show you how by visiting LegacyTaxBill.com right now. Use Legacy's tax bill calculator. Fill in the value of your IRA, 401k, and other qualified plans. Retirement is something you've worked your whole life for, so don't let the IRS take that away. Go to LegacyTaxBill.com. Go to LegacyTaxBill.com to schedule your free consultation.
Now it's time for This Week in District 10. This Week in District 10 is brought to you by Flynn's Tires and Auto Service. Here's Bob Greenberg and the Erie Times' Tom Reisenweber.
And it's almost that time of the week, a little later than normal, but we are glad that Tom Reisenweber could join us from the Erie Times, GoErie.com. And Tom, we thought maybe with all the snow up there, maybe you were under some blizzard somewhere.
Yeah, I almost did it. It took me 2 or 3 times today to take my car out. And this weekend it's been wild up here. And what I can't believe is it was almost like a wall was formed between Edinburgh and Meadville, because everything above that, we were getting crushed, and it seemed like you guys didn't really get too much down there.
Yeah, we got basically flurries. There's really nothing on the ground down here, so it is unbelievable. And PWA getting ready to host their state championship games in football this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The weather does not look great, but that's what you get at this time of year. And as we've talked before, no District 10 teams, a rarity to say the least, that nobody going down to play for a state final.
Yeah, it's almost like D10's got an unintentional boycott going here ever since Cumberland Valley has been in place. We have not had a team go down there since they went over to the Hershey. So just a tough part of the cycle. I think these things are cyclical with schools and programs that, I think, we're competitive with each other in District 10, but right now there's not really an elite team. So hopefully that changes in the next few years. I think we're kind of spoiled for a couple of years there. We had Farrell and Wilmington and Prep all going a lot, almost every year. That was a fun time, but hopefully we get back to that where we get 2 or 3 teams going to Cumberland Valley, or hopefully a different site in the future here.
If I was a betting man on high school sports, I imagine I would have made a lot of money betting that 2 District 9 teams would mercy roll 2 WPIL championship teams. Tom, I mean, Central Clarion and Port Allegany mercy rolling the District 7 champions is one for the record books for all time.
Yeah, I think you might see the future here. You'll get District 9. Obviously Port Allegany has a very good team this year, but you rarely see them compete with just one school. Central Clarion obviously is a combination of several. So we may see that in the future here with several programs combining. I know there's been a call for more districts to combine and consolidate, maybe help out roster size and competitiveness, and maybe District 9 taking a lesson here with Central Clarion, looking at how good they are. Yeah, maybe we need to start combining some of these schools to compete with the best teams in the state. But obviously a great year for those 2 teams, District 9. It's good to see. That's the one district that really has no success at all in the football state playoffs. So it's good to see some new teams make a run, but they have some tall tasks ahead of them in Cumberland Valley to win a state title. It's I think they're the only district to never win a state title in football, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens this weekend.
District 9 has never won. The other one is District 5, so there's 2 that have never won a district title. And I guess after seeing what Port Allegany and Central Clarion did, their wins over the 2 Mercer County teams to knock them out, Farrell and Wilmington, you kind of see now that at least Wilmington really played Port Allegany tough. It was 22-20 at one point.
Yeah, you think about if Wilmington could have hung on there, maybe they win a state title this year. Hopefully that gives them a little bit of hope for next year. I'm guessing Port Allegany is going to lose some key players, so you might see Wilmington as one of the best teams in 1A next fall, which hopefully motivates these guys even more in the off season in the weight room. Obviously, they do a great job anyway with their weight program, and the program is in such good shape. So hopefully they can maybe use that as a little extra motivation, and we might see a very good Wilmington team make a run next year.
The PWA board meets on Wednesday in person. Again, we won't be able to watch it. My constant complaint. But one thing that jumped out to me on their agenda, Tom, is they are once again tweaking the competition formula, the never-ending competition formula tweaks. and it looks like they're going to go to 7 points for a team to move up into the next classification along with the transfers. But they're adding transfers and they're adding points to theoretically make it more difficult for teams to move up.
Yeah, you're kind of losing what the point of in the first place was. You're kind of getting away from the original thing, and I know you have to make rule changes, but they're kind of making the wrong rule changes. You're trying to avoid teams becoming powerhouses as far as building through transfers and constantly winning whatever they do to win. And obviously, we've seen that with St. Joe's Prep, but you can't really punish a 6A team because there is no 7A. So I don't really know. I mean, if this will do any good. But really, I think is unfair and maybe could cause a courtroom battle is teams who are already affected by the rule. These new rules, maybe they should revert back to them. So you'll get a team like Cathedral Prep football who's now playing 2 classes above what they should be enrollment-wise. Is this a really fair thing to do right now for them? Should they say, hey, if you're going to change these rules, apply it to our situation, and if we didn't have enough points and didn't have transfers, knock us back down to our enrollment? And I think you might see a couple teams challenge this if these rules all go into place. So it'll be interesting to see next year if there's any kind of court battle or appeal saying, we need to change our classification because of this these new rules, or if their court rule, well, you can do it next cycle. So I'll be interested to see what happens here. They keep changing how difficulty to move up. They need to look at the difficulty about moving back down. If your team stinks for 2 years, you should be able to go back down with ease, not with only a couple points keeps you up there. So I'll be interested to see if that changes at all. But this formula, it's starting to turn into 6 classes a little bit. It's a little bit of a disaster to what they were trying to do in the first place.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and I'd posted about this, that because PWA got hammered by Aliquippa in the courtroom, and in their strategic planning committee minutes, there were multiple proposed language tweaks to the rule provided by Aliquippa's legal counsel. So apparently that must have been part of the ruling. Aliquippa wins, and they get to stay down, and also they get a chance to craft what the next rule is. That is interesting to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great thing that I guess. They feel like mess with the wrong school, because Aliquippa will keep appealing and keep going after them about this rule. And I think the one thing that they have not addressed, and I don't know if they ever will, is at some point you have to cap the number of classes you go up. Aliquippa is a perfect example. They're a 1A school. They shouldn't be going up any higher than 3A through this rule. If they want to voluntarily play 3A, then the rule shouldn't apply anymore. You should 2 classes is the max. We talk about safety and health and safety issues, but you can't keep forcing teams to play 3 or 4 classes if they keep having success. You're asking for trouble with that whole thing. So hopefully that's at some point addressed in this rule, because this is ridiculous what they've been doing now at Aliquippa.
Tom, February 6th, 7th, and 8th are the PWA Team Wrestling Championships. And as of now, unless something has changed in the last 2 minutes, PWA still doesn't know how to have a host venue for the state championships. And we're talking, 2 months away? What is going on?
Yeah, it's wild that they even let it go this far. And I know you have to have your votes and your approvals, but at some point you have to expedite this a little bit. You've already started a season where you have no idea where the state championships will be held, which is absurd. It's absurd that when they got to the fall season without knowing the wrestling where it's going to be. There's plenty of great venues around Pennsylvania. This is one where they can't just sit back. They have to go and find something. Go find a Bucknell, Cornell, Bucknell, some of these other colleges around, Central PA, or even come to Pittsburgh or Philadelphia for a year. Come to Erie, come somewhere where it's a nice facility. You have plenty of mats, and have we've had the Junior State Wrestling Championships up here before at the Erie Service Arena. There's plenty of venues in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. This really should not be an issue at this point. They have to get out and do something. I know PWA is known for sitting back and waiting for proposals, but at some point you got to take action and go out and find the right venue.
Tom, we appreciate your time as always. Have a great week. Hopefully the snow stops, and I look forward to chatting with you next Monday.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob.
All right, Tom Reis, member of the Erie Times. And that's going to do it here for the Fixed Sports Line. We are glad you have tuned in. Steeler Browns week, a lot to talk about there next Monday. And the Pitt basketball team, a couple big games as well. College football, a huge day on Saturday. So hope you tune in next Monday to catch all our thoughts and discussions on that. On behalf of Hugh, Flint's Tire and Auto Service, I am Bob Greenberg. This is the Pick Sports Line. Have a great week, everybody.
You're listening to News Talk